Sally Schwartz, and I'm the chef owner of Paso Cookie Inc. in El Paso, Texas. And today I'm going to show you how to make preserved lemon. Preserved lemon is used primarily in Southern Asia, India, and Northern African cuisine, but I have like a really deep fondness for preserving all types of foods. So preserved lemon is an awesome ingredient that you can use in just about anything from salads to salad dressings to a hot tea. And after it's preserved, it has more floral notes. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients to preserve lemon. You can also use this technique to preserve any type of citrus, from lime, grapefruit, orange, Meyer lemon, whatever you'd like to try. And basically you just want to find a really good ripe citrus. So this is a really good lemon. And when you're shopping for lemons, you want to make sure that it doesn't have any green spots on there, and you want to make sure it's ripe. You also want to make sure that your lemons or whatever citrus that you're using are at room temperature, because if they're cold, they're not going to absorb the salt as well. So basically we have 4 large lemons today, and then we have about 2 pounds of sea salt, and we're just going to get started. So you want to make sure that your citrus is at room temperature, and you want it to be really juicy, so you can just roll it around a little bit. And you'll notice how you can smell the lemon aroma coming out of the peel. And this is in comparison to a lemon that hasn't been rolled yet. So you just want to make sure that you get all of them really soft. And after you've done that, you just want to cut it in half. The other most important part is that you want to make sure that you get all of the seeds out. And just put those to the side. You can leave your lemon in half, or you can quarter them. I kind of like to quarter them more often now because they fit into my jars a little better. So you just want to make sure that you have a clean mason jar or any kind of canning jar with a lid. And you're just going to pop all the seeds out. And if possible, you also want to cut out this little pith, because that'll make it easier to cut later. And then you're going to add the lemons to the salt. You can use sea salt, you can use Himalayan salt. I discourage using the iodized table salt. It's actually just tastes way too salty, and it will increase the amount of sodium. So it's always better to use like a naturally occurring salt. And then here we go, we're just getting all the seeds out. This is one of my favorite ingredients to use in all kinds of cooking. You can use a little bit of it in soups or stews, sauces, dressings. If you put it in a fresh salad, it'll take your salad basically to the next level. It's really good. People often ask me, what did you put in there? And it's just preserved lemon. It just kind of elevates the palate a little bit more. So I come from a family that does a lot of preserving and canning, and my paternal grandparents, actually, when I was little, it was really challenging for them to get a hold of citrus for some reason out in the desert. And so the citrus would come in like around the holidays. And so my grandmother would preserve the lemons so she could use them all year. And even though A preserved lemon has a completely different type of taste than a fresh lemon, and that goes for any type of preserved food. She wanted to make sure that she had access to that. And I never asked her where she learned how to make it, actually. So I'm not really sure. But this is what I remember from her. She even had a preserved lemon olive oil cake that she would make. And that's really good. I need to make that again. So now what we do is we make sure that all of the lemon pieces have had the seeds removed. And then you just want to roll it in the sea salt. And you want to make sure that each piece of lemon has a nice coating of salt. And you're just going to pop it in your mason jar or your canning jar. All kinds of brands now. And this is the point too, like if you want to add different spices, you can. Some people like to add dried chilies or cardamom pods, vanilla bean. You can get really creative with your lemons. And then you just want to squish them. Make sure that everything fits in there nice and tight. Now I really want to make that lemon olive oil cake. Super samey. And you're probably going to find some seeds as you go along if you missed any. So, and you want to fill your jar all the way to the top. And what happens is the salt is going to remove the juice from the lemons. And now we're ready to put the lid on. And just close it really tight. And then you leave this at room temperature. People might think you're kind of crazy, but this is how it works. You leave it at room temperature for about 3 months. And you have to kind of switch the jar over like once a week or once every 10 days. So you just let it sit like that for like a week, flip it over for another week, and you'll start noticing the changes that it makes. And then in a couple of months, you will have something that looks similar. To this, and as you can see, it looks much different than the fresh lemon. And it smells, it has like a really heavy floral scent. And a little bit goes a long way. And then this one is preserved lemon with chili. And this was like a red chili from Durango, Colorado that my sister sent to me. She lives up there. And this one is something that I like to use in soups and stews with the chili. Okay. You can also use lime. So this is a lime and chili preserve. And then this is an orange. Preserving oranges here. And here you can even see the natural occurring fermentation with the bubbles happening. So it has like a little bit of naturally occurring carbonation in there. And don't be surprised if your jar starts looking a little different, because the longer that it sits around, the more that it'll ferment, and it'll actually start making more of like a saucier texture to it. And then even after you open it, you can store it at room temperature. You can also keep it in the refrigerator if you'd like, but it's not necessary because the fermentation has just basically turned it into something where you don't have to worry about it spoiling all that much, because there's like a lot of salt, and there's naturally occurring citric acid, which is a preservative in citrus, so you don't have to worry about it going bad. It'll last indefinitely. So you can use these types of ingredients for almost any kind of recipe, for pasta, for salad, dressings, soups, stews. You can also just eat it. It's really good for you. And it has like a lot of hints of floral items in there, and this one has chili. So that's how we make preserved citrus.